much, but I gotta. They say my back too fucking big, that's not mine. And when I ask them to buy food, they gotta. They say I'm gonna have diabetes, got no. And that's a. You wanna. Because my stomach real fat, I gotta.
What's up, YouTube? So today we doing a little reaction video, you know what I'm saying? Do a little in between while I'm working on my other video, so you know you get more videos twice as fast, really. But you know what I'm saying? We got a little reaction video going on for y'all. I already did all that other shit. This is just post time skip Nate doing the job type shit. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, shit like that. We reacting to a Jubilee video that my homie said I should react to. So I say, you know what? I'm fried. Let's do it. It felt interesting.
So you're saying you care more about money than a relationship?
I don't give a if she was a homie. But if she stole my money, yeah, that affects my life.
Nigga, what? That's what y'all start with. What's going on? This shit.
Men and women.
She look like she finna be talking a whole bunch of shit, bruh. Like, not shit is in bullshit, but like shit is in she finna be on it. I'm not even gonna lie. She look like she like to argue type shit. We like them kind of women around here.
Cannot
if
just
you don't,
be friends.
Scary.
3, 2, 1.
Cannot just be friends.
He's still deciding, but I'll go ahead. There's always this underlying current to a man and a woman when they're just friends, because there's.
What's y'all opinion on it, actually? What's y'all opinion on it? Cause me personally, I feel like that's an obvious answer. Yeah, we can think alike, but it's like by default, men and women don't think the same, and it's like we don't even have to. Like what? There was never a guideline saying we had to think the same. But I'm just curious as to what they finna say and how hot they finna get over stuff that's really not even that deep. What do you say? Content.
Hi.
Okay.
There's this sexual attraction, this energy that you can't even see it. It's always flowing. And men, as you know, you guys are conquerors. You want a conquest. You want to, even if it's a friend, sometimes that develops into more simply because law of familiarity, you start getting close and comfortable, and maybe you weren't attracted to her initially, but that opposition of that sexual polarity always kicks in.
What if the man is like not attracted to women, just like generally? Do you think that's still?
Oh, you mean if they take a different
like a gay man and
sexual orientation
and a woman being friends?
Well, I think that's different, perhaps because.
Can we talk about her stance real quick? What's going on? That stance looks like opposition at its finest, my brother.
Because
I conquer the men, not the women.
Well, in that, there's always masculine and feminine energy, whether you're a man or woman. So if the man is gay and identifies as being attracted to men, then he's in a feminine energy.
Why she do that?
Mostly. Now, if there's two of them, there's one that's more masculine and more feminine, but that's for another.
Two of my best friends are women. We have great times together all the time. Not once have I considered sleeping with them or anything like that.
Ever?
No. But that's the thing is though.
In
What?
their darkest hour.
He capped
in your
out.
darkest hour.
He
Come
capped
on.
out.
No.
Because you like started off.
Because we started off as friends, and this is like I said, I was never attracted to them.
A lot of relationships start like that today, even though I discourage it. They say, I'm not attracted to them, but it'll grow. And I'm always like, it can happen.
It can, but
But the odds of it, so I agree with you on that as well.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I do
Slim to
understand
none.
and I get it, but like two of my best friends are women, and not once. Everyone keeps saying like, oh, you're gonna do, and I'm like, it's not.
You never know.
Yeah,
life is a long time.
Are your friends attractive?
Yes.
Like they look good.
But attractive is subjective.
But like just like generally speaking, like your girls like look good, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you was just lonely, like it's been a moment, you didn't want to beat it, You know what I mean? Or like, you know.
There's a special exemption. I'm non-monogamous, so I never have to worry about intimacy.
Well, that's why.
Wait, so you getting played. So you ain't worried about your man.
He's like getting it, so he doesn't need it. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you was lonely and you wasn't getting it though, and your friend was throwing it
I
at
guess
you,
that's a different situation. That's what I'm saying. I know I'm
you belong over here though.
The dark side.
If he's not attracted, if we're not attracted, it's just friends.
Yeah.
As a straight, very monogamous man, I grew up mainly being friends with women. I felt more comfortable in those spaces. I felt more comfortable talking to women. I've never been like a bro, rah, 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 that type of thing. So I think men and women absolutely can be. I have friends that I've had since elementary school, middle school. We talk very often and we talk about all these things, and it has never affected that aspect of the relationship because we're men and women. We're just people, and people can be friends. It's not.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
So my perspective is from kind of a Christian worldview.
Yes.
I believe that God created man and woman to come together in love and attraction, to be one. And so from that standpoint, I believe that there is just a natural attraction. I have had some extremely close friends.
Hell no. I'm on your ass too about your stance. You standing like a youth pastor.
Of an attraction, to be one. And so from that
He's
standpoint,
like a
I
Christian
believe
youth
that
pastor, my boy. Who wants to learn about God?
it's a natural attraction.
Amen.
I have had some extremely close friends that were girls, and that attraction just developed because it wasn't just physical, but it was love. It was getting to see how they were around their family, around kids, what they do for work, what they do for school, developing that relationship. So from my perspective, that attraction develops because I wasn't just looking at her from just, she's just a body. Yeah, she's just a piece of meat.
Yeah.
You develop that emotional attraction, that emotional
Which is why I'm over here. Yes, joining this dark side.
I would ask.
Because I completely agree with you on that. From
Can
the
you
same
love-
Christian
Yes.
standpoint, 100%.
Hey, did you know you might get a big cash payout if you were in a car?
Bro, I'm really about to get your piccochine that boy.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
2, 1. I would date someone I do not find physically attractive.
Oh.
3, 2,
This
1.
nigga, he gonna be annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
Ah, man. But you want to say something first?
I do it all the time because there's a lot you don't, just from the physicalness, it's like sometimes there's some people that I learned just by not going in based off physical attraction I end up being attracted to them just because of their personality. And looks can be deceiving. I could say the same on the opposite end, where I thought someone was absolutely attractive, but then I got to know them and they were the worst person I could have possibly been on a date with.
I feel like you can definitely not be attracted to somebody initially, and then as you get I feel like at that point, like once I like someone's personality romantically, I probably also think they're attractive.
I would say that for some, it's not a reflection on your character, how weighted appearance versus personality might be. It differs from person to person. I think that we have our preferences, and I think that a certain element of physical attractiveness is fitness, health, hygiene, and that reflects on usually competence, responsibility, and dedication. But I do see it as important, although not the whole package by any means.
Right. It's the very first impression you get of most people.
Yes.
Because you meet someone and you can't hear their voice first thing most of the time, you just see them. And you're like, oh, that person's attractive, or like, I don't see myself with that person because I don't find them attractive. And that's totally fine. Not everybody's attracted to everybody.
So I gotta give context here, right? If I'm meeting you in person,
how he end up on that side?
And I'm over there with y'all. But if I'm meeting you through a dating app and I get catfished, but you're kind of cool, right? then, cause I met a girl that had nice pictures. But then when I seen her in person, she was a little bit bigger than I prefer, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Well, everyone can have nice pictures today.
Now, there's nothing wrong with being a bit bigger, but for preference sake, I wasn't really feeling it. But her personality is what got me. And then I started entertaining it. So, right, even though I got catfished, I actually considered,
he said he started entertaining it.
That's
how you know that shit ain't last.
You
don't entertain love.
Cheating is the worst thing my partner could do to me. 3, 2, 1.
I mean, think about death. That could be terrible.
feel like there's like probably worse things like in theory that a partner could do to their partner, but just because that's such an important aspect for me, and like I feel like my partners in the past have like been very aware that was like something that I actively would not do. I feel like that would just that adds like an extra element of evil.
Yeah, I mean, my mind goes to marriage. I mean, you know, when you marry
Stop
this
standing
woman, when I
like
marry a
that,
woman
cuzzo.
someday, you promise literally everything you have to be with her, literally thick and thin, to be with her through everything, through highs and lows. And I mean, if you do something like cheating, it's basically like, screw this love, this wasn't real. These promises that I made between us and God mean nothing.
look like
I
Jimmy
think for a lot
Neutron,
of
boy. I
Christians,
can't
that's like
even
a
stand
big
it.
thing, is
He
cheating.
giving me
100%.
Jimmy Neutron in the
And
face energy.
It's one of the 10 commandments too. It's like, do not commit adultery.
Yeah.
So that is definitely the worst thing, because getting married is a promise between you and that person and God.
I mean, technically there's worse things, like they could kill you, which would probably be the worst thing, because then like you're not even in the picture.
You belong over here.
So I'm kind of like, you know, but I would say that would like destroy me, and I would never even think about something like that.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I was actually cheated on like 4 or 5 months ago. I struggled with self-esteem so much growing up, and that was the worst thing that could have happened. That destroyed any chance I had at self-love at that time, and it was just devastating for me. Like, it really was just devastating, because it didn't just destroy that relationship, it destroyed my entire image of myself that I had built up based on other people's validation, and I had to rip it down to the studs and just fully start over. Yeah, so that's why I'm over here. Strongly agree. For me personally, it was the worst thing that could have happened.
Cheating is f***ed up. It's not a good feeling. Is it the worst thing that a partner could do to me? To be honest, I've outgrown that. Bro, I had over $250,000 stolen from me this year, bro. And that put me in a dark-ass place. Now imagine, if my partner stole that money from me, or she was just a homie, I'd be more mad about the money, you feel me, right?
I don't have that money to be stolen.
So you're saying you care more about money than a relationship?
But because at the end of the day, me and my ex, we ain't together no more, so I don't give a f if she was a homie, if she was, right? But if she stole my money, yeah, that affects my life. You know what I mean, right? So my whole thing is, when we talking about the prompt, is cheating the worst thing that the partner could do?
He actually saying something kind of intellectual.
The first time I was cheated on, bro, I was petty.
dumbass.
I was in high school, bro. I drove all the way to the crib and told her mom what she was doing with me. You know what I mean, right? Yeah, I was vengeful. But now I just be like, you know, so many people do it. There's worse things that they have. Like, if you kill my mom, I'd be more mad rather than you f***ing a homie.
The sanctity of marriage is supposed to be till death do us part. That doesn't mean if your carnal flesh gave in and you had you know, an indiscretion that you're able to hit the door running. No, that means there's work to be done. We have problems. For me, I think it actually can be the best thing, because it's a sign that there is a huge problem in the relationship that needs fixed.
Oh, God.
Most sex is not emotional.
What you talking
so it's just a
about?
bodily act that animals do, and you're going to blow up a marriage or a relationship with children over sex. To me, I think that is ridiculous.
But sex,
You could say that about the
You're
person
like, hold
doing
on
the
now.
cheating too.
I've been cheated on, so I have been cheated on.
Well, so you think that's something you could like, oh, you have gotten over it?
I have gotten over it. If my husband cheats on me, of course I'd be devastated. I'm human, I bleed just like all y'all too, but I'd be like, damn, like, what's the problem here? What's the issue?
See, but that's-
and can we solve this?
Why don't you just talk? Like,
Well,
if you guys are
yeah.
married and you have that emotion.
I feel like there's like there's things before that
happen though. We know that people don't.
I think we should work to changing that.
We should, but
Instead
that
of
doesn't mean
accepting-
I'm going to unconditionally love you just because you went and had an indiscretion. I wouldn't do that to my son. My son F's up all the time and does crazy shit. I'm like, where on God's green earth did you learn that? That doesn't mean I stopped loving him.
For men, I feel like we take cheating a lot more personally
We
as
do.
opposed to women. It
I
comes
think
with to the ego.
People's boundaries are all different. So if you know you have perhaps been with no or less partners, and then you get married, to learn that that person cheated would be purport.
You see, I'm not gonna lie, before she get into this explanation, I'll probably say I agree with that nigga. I feel like niggas probably take cheating way more seriously than fuck. Like, I'll go be real. Yeah, I didn't have to take it all the way there, but like, point is, I feel like niggas take cheating more seriously than like shorties type shit, because it's like niggas crash out over shit like that. I've rarely seen like the shorts crash over niggas. They just be like, I'm gonna just get a new nigga. Proceed to get a new nigga. Niggas can do that shit too. Niggas do that shit too. It's just like, on average, I feel like it's more towards their side. It could be biased. I don't even know.
Proportionally
Back
much
to
more
the
devastating
video.
to someone who's had maybe a lot of relationship experience and therefore that's more of an active part in their life. So I think that everyone's boundaries are different. So for some people, I have seen them get over it. I know for me personally, I would say that I'm a woman that would take that devastatingly seriously and would not look lightly at it. So it depends on the person's boundaries.
If you had children and if you had a family involved, you would break up your family over a man's one-time indiscretion.
Yes.
That would adversely affect your child and possibly send her to the stripper pole.
I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable answering that question because I feel like it's making a lot of.
That feels like what happens. This is
But
what
I
happens.
feel like that,
we don't
that
want to
just
answer
shows,
those questions, but
that shows an example onto the kids, like, oh, this is not that bad of a thing.
I don't know where she was going.
And I
with
also,
that
I
one.
think
I'm
that
not
like
gonna
somebody
lie.
cheating on you is more than just like a physical thing. Like that's a break of trust, and I feel like
Well,
if you can't have that trust in someone, then I also don't want them to be like raising my kids with me.
Yeah.
so we're all saying that love is conditional is the end of
Yeah,
Yes,
100% agree with that.
Monogamy is overrated. 3, 2, 1.
monogamy is overrated.
Want to break into cybersecurity? Sorry.
Of course. Come on, man, get over here, get your phone over here. You know you belong here. At least
I know. We're like,
That's
we're
wild.
in a second.
Think about it.
We're taught from the Disney, all these fairy tales, it's like you're supposed to be with that one and only, you know? So it's very frightening to break something traditional, but after like a few months with it, I just knew I'm like, this is the right choice. I've been in the most happiest of relationships. I just celebrated my 3 years with my primary partner. And like, as well as my 2-year anniversary with my secondary partner.
2 years is
like,
crazy.
You know,
Do they know about this?
I do think that
they
monogamy
know
is
about
kind of
this?
overrated. It's looked at as an option.
I think nowadays I know more open relationships than I do strictly closed relationships
Yeah.
with the people that I know. I would say I disagree that monogamy is overrated, but I do agree that for some people like yourself, poly relationships work better. So I don't look down upon them. I think whatever works for you works for you.
Thank you.
Yes.
But I can still
Thank you.
say that for like someone like myself or people that are similarly just very focused and have like
That shit is
strict
not
kind of like
overrated.
I just can't ever.
That
Oh my
shit
God, I
is
could never
overrated.
imagine more
I'm not
than
gonna
like
lie.
one
It was a
person.
dumbass question.
It takes a lot.
I ain't even
So
think
therefore,
about
I
that
don't
one
think
for real.
monogamy is overrated. I think it depends on the person, and I think for me, it's definitely not over. It's the only option. For you, poly is like the right way. So it just depends. I'm completely non-judgmental. I think it just depends.
I just want to say, I don't mind monogamy, right? I just don't like a controlling relationship where it's completely like, no, you can't f nobody else, but at the same time, you want to f me once or twice a month. You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
Like, and
Exactly.
So, you know, me and my ex was together for 5 years. I actually broke up with her in April, but for 2.5 years out that relationship, we was barely we're like maybe once a month.
Yeah.
Then I moved her in the crib, and then when I moved her in the house, for the whole first year of her living in the house, she just didn't want to have sex and
That's
shit.
right.
Now, we had an agreement that we had agreed on where we could do various things that we just didn't want to know about and stuff like that, right? And because you wasn't me and like that, I was handling the agreement. Like, I was following the agreement. But because there were certain things that wasn't necessarily 100% out there, that created complications in the relationship to the point that it ended up to us breaking up.
I think it's definitely like it has a place like for certain people. Like obviously we have 2 people who are like very religious here, and it works well for them. And I just think like if I was in an open relationship, I would go crazy. Like even when I'm in like a normal relationship where it's like I don't expect them to cheat on me, I'm still like it's
Suspect.
yeah. So I just like if I can't imagine a world where I would agree with that. And also before I had like loved someone or like dated anybody, I was like, oh no, I could totally be in an open relationship. And then I actually did, and I was like, oh.
Are you
Never
a very
mind.
sexual person? Just curious though.
Like kind of.
Kind of.
Sure.
She's like, yeah.
So
Like,
your partner was
kinda.
very sexual too, and he's like, baby, like, I want to be with you, but you always just shut him down because you ain't in the mood.
I don't. That's like never happened.
Oh,
I don't
well,
think.
okay, but I'm just
like I
saying,
just
like-
feel like that's like not. That's like personally for me not an issue. But also, I don't know. I think that would definitely be a conversation if there was like an
She
imbalance.
talks
But also, I think
fast
there's
as
different
hell,
things that make
brother.
people compatible as partners, and that's definitely one of them.
What he's saying is the cry of
She could
many
be a
men
politician.
today is, and not just sex. It's not like men are like, oh, I'm heartless.
That connection.
But listen, men need sex to create intimacy. Women need intimacy to have sex. And people get married and then fuck around. It's like,
Yep.
just don't get
She
married
she
then.
was spitting right there. I can't even stun it.
I don't know. I think
She
that
was
would be a
spitting right
conversation if
there.
there was like an imbalance. But also,
She
I think
was
there's
spitting,
different things that
hold
make
on.
people compatible as partners, and that's definitely one of them.
What he's saying is the cry of many men today is that they're not getting enough sex from their partner. And not just sex, it's not like men are like, oh, I'm heartless.
That connection.
But listen, men need sex to create intimacy. Women need intimacy to have sex. And people get married and then fuck around. It's like, just don't get married then. And stay like this boy, dates and anniversaries every
Y'all two are my people, I swear to God. Y'all two are my people.
Next month is his 1 year anniversary with partner number 3. Like just,
She
just
frying.
be out there doing your
person.
I see that as laziness, that you don't want to commit to someone in the hard times. Like you were talking about a little bit about, well, they're not getting fulfilled sexually, so why not find it somewhere else?
Yeah.
Why not just do the hard work to work on your relationship?
agree
so
with
that
you.
you
I
can
was
get
ready
that
for this
pleasure?
question.
And
No.
I mean,
I was ready for
there's such a emotional, there's a psychological just importance
It ain't
in
that
being with
deep.
one person.
It ain't that deep.
I mean,
pair bonding.
So then why do we have such a high divorce rate?
I agree with you on that.
why do we have such a high divorce
Why do
rate?
why are people still cheating? Why is open
Because they're not, because our country, I think, is lazy. We don't want to have these hard conversations of maybe we should go to therapy, maybe we should try to get help because we love one another. It's like, nah,
Or
I
even
can go
to
get
talk
this.
about it, period.
I feel like that's
Right?
So me and my ex, we actually did couples therapy because again, we was barely for like 2.5 years, bro. We went to couples therapy. Next thing you know, everything was great for like a month. And then one day she just blew up. She said, man, I still don't feel like you this and that. But like she went in, bro. You know what I mean? So at the same time, there was a point in my relationship where it really just came to the point like, baby, I love everything else about you. You know what I mean, right? This area sucks. Are you still attracted to me? She said, yes, I'm still attracted to you, right? Well, here's the thing. If you just don't want to have sex with me, right? Go somebody do this. I don't give a Let's have that conversation, right? Because I get everything else I want from you anyways. I was open to the idea. I want to be with my woman, but if you don't want to do this, I'm fine just being on the same page.
I mean, I understand the importance of sex, but there's self-sacrifice in every relationship you need to make. If you're happy with her and everything she had, but you also have a value on sex, then maybe
It's
she's
like
not the
I
right
kind of
person.
despise because I
I
can't
want to
even
go
stand
look for
it.
greener grass, or did I just want to water my own grass? I just stuck it out for 5 years, bro.
That's another aspect of being like romantically compatible with someone, and sometimes there's like one thing that's not there and that sucks. But it's like especially if that other person, that's something that they prioritize. Like personally, if my partner was like, oh, like I love like everything about you, but like this is not compatible, and they wanted to go sleep with other people, like that would make me feel so bad about myself.
And that's why you do what works for you.
That's why you do what
I'm
works
just saying
for
like that's like a compatibility issue then I think, because I'm not your ex-girlfriend, I don't know how she feels, but if I were in that scenario, I just like that just would make me so sad, even though it's like it's none of your fault that there's that imbalance.
The comments gonna talk so much shit.
Yeah, they-
right.
They're gonna be like, he's a
The day
slut,
I
he's
broke up
horrible.
with my girl, bro,
That's
she told
horrible.
me, like I don't want to say everything. The day I broke with my girl, she said, man, she's like, I just be counting down the days. Like we had sex in like 12 days. I gotta go have sex with y'all. Otherwise, Ashley gonna get mad. You know what I mean, right? And I'm hearing all this and shit, right? You know what I mean? So she said a bunch, and I felt like I had to break up with her, right?
Yeah, no, that's
did not want to. I feel like I had to.
Yeah, that would definitely take a toll on you.
I think all this goes back to clear communication, because if I don't think that cheating means that polyamory would actually be the solution to that. I think that it goes back to your values and works for you. And I think that I would maybe venture to say that more people might be poly than are exploring that right now. And still at the same time, monogamy I think works
It's
for a
like
lot of
I'm
people,
looking
so
at
it's
the
all
fit,
works
looking
for
at
you.
the hair. I'm
I
like,
would
she
date
kinda
someone
look-
in
she
this
kinda
room.
looks up.
3,
Lil Wendy,
2,
Lil Wendy.
1.
Out with you.
They probably gonna be like, oh, I got a boyfriend, I got a girlfriend.
Perfect example, right? Like Janelle
Cuz
got
said
the
strongly
energy, right? Now
agree.
Janelle might be the coolest person. Next thing you know, you
He
start getting to know her, she
boo-hoo.
might be crazy. You'd be like, then you come over here all of a sudden.
Generally, the few people I've been attracted to, they look like Tim Burton dolls, or just like weird goth
Tim Burton
people. Yeah, just like weird goth people. So like, it's just coincidence. It's very
Yeah,
rare
that
that
ain't
I've seen
me.
these people. So it's not a personal
That ain't me.
thing.
Sir?
My girlfriend would kill me, and
Respect.
Alright.
I like to think I'm pretty picky, so.
But am I not your type, though?
Hey, cuzzo.
You got me feeling some type of way now that you say it. I don't know.
He said, I don't know.
Oh.
Yo. They wild. What was that rhyme?
I mean,
What was-
for me,
nah.
beliefs are.
Hey, okay.
That nigga.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, for me, beliefs are extremely important.
Blushing.
I mean, I ain't trying to get all flirty, but you are also very gorgeous.
Please send us
I'm not even
But no, beliefs
surprised.
are very important within relationships. I think
Yeah.
I look into, obviously I have a desire to be a husband and one day be a father, and I think if you have difference in beliefs,
Yeah,
it's
they
very
go
hard
ahead and
to
get ready
raise
to run that
coherently.
shit out.
Absolutely.
I think that just is extremely important.
That shit. What Future say? Yeah, y'all, that was the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, type shit. I'ma catch you when I catch you.